This piece of garbage is 7 years old. You know what that means, right? The Switch still can't legally drink. But that's okay, because the Switch can consume My Hero One's Justice, which is equally, if not worse than alcohol. The Nintendo Switch. Everyone's favorite coaster, plate, and maybe sometimes a video game console. This bad boy has a slew of video games packed within its eShop and physical library. It's got everything anyone would ever want. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Mario, Fire Emblem, Mario, and Mario. But the Switch is home to more than just 4 franchises. The Switch has a shit ton of games, and honestly, it's quite impressive.
Oh my goodness!
This son of a bitch can hold the Metro games, the Wolfenstein games, and even No Man's Sky on the goddamn system. Most of them don't look very good. But they're on the Switch, so it doesn't really matter. Today, I'm going to be talking about games that have been ported from other consoles to the Switch. Here are some of the games I just wanted to highlight. Nier Automata. Released on the Switch in October 6, 2022, Nier was probably one of the coolest games they have ported to the Switch to this date. I played Nier ages ago on my Xbox One, but that was like so long ago, so I forgot basically everything about this game. But now I can play Nier while laying down on my bed. God's greatest gift. Nier on the Switch is honestly pretty great. While yes, it doesn't look the best and a lot of the gorgeous graphics had to be downscaled, it still looks great. The gameplay is still fluid and 2B's ass is still the best thing to look at while playing the game. I'm actually playing through this game right now on my Switch because I bought it like 2 months ago. I think it is a great example of a port and I highly recommend grabbing Nier on the Switch if you can. The game's only about $40, but it goes on sale from time to time for about $25. Probably one of the absolute best ports is definitely Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is not only one of my favorite indie games, it is also one of my favorite video games of all time as well. Stardew Valley has basically infinite ways to play the game. Neglect everyone in the town and just fish all day long? You can do that. Want to spend 8 in-game years just mining and getting bank from that? You can. Do you want to actually start a farm and become a capitalist god? You absolutely can. Stardew Valley came out on October 5th, 2017, within the first year of the Switch's release year. I actually legit learned this last night. I did not know Stardew Valley released within the first year of the Switch existing. Maybe I'm not a true fan after all. Maybe I should just never plant a turnip ever again. I bought Stardew Valley in 2018, and it is probably one of the best purchases I have ever made when it comes to video games. The Switch version is how I started playing Stardew for the first time, and now I own Stardew on basically every electronic I own. It's on my Switch, it's on my Xbox, it's on my PC. Hell, I even have it on my watch. Honestly, even after playing Stardew on basically everything, the Switch port of the game is still honestly my go-to version of Stardew, even if the Switch version is behind on an update. I'm a patient man. Concerned Ape, the developer of Stardew, is quite literally a one-man operation. One man did everything in this game. As someone who deeply loves your game, take all the time you need to create the best game you possibly can. The next game is an absolute titan in the video game sphere, and it is none other than Minecraft. Minecraft is quite literally the most popular game in the world. It has sold more copies than Tetris. Fucking Tetris. I said earlier that I have Stardew Valley on basically every console, but there is one game that beats it. Minecraft. I have Minecraft on my Switch, my Xbox, my PlayStation, my PC, my phone, even my Wii U. I probably have Minecraft on my Game Boy Color, and I would not even be surprised. Honestly, Minecraft on the Switch is not my preferred version of Minecraft. Mainly because I don't have a Switch OLED, because I'm broke. And Minecraft on the Switch is the Bedrock version of the game instead of the Java version. Bedrock isn't horrible, but I just think it pales in comparison to Java. Minecraft on Switch is a pretty fun way to play the game, and if you have no other way to play the game, then the Switch version is pretty good. I played with my friends on the Switch for like a good 1 to 2 years during quarantine before eventually swapping to PC. I still enjoy playing Minecraft on the Switch. Sometimes I open it up and then I just stop thinking and just chill and just play Minecraft like the good old 2012 to 2013 days. So, I've talked about the Trails games in the past, and here I am, bringing them up once again. I started playing Trails on PC with Cold Steel 1 and Cold Steel 2, but my lust and urge for wanting to play video games while I'm lying down on my bed overcame me, and I decided that I wanted to play the rest of the Trails games on the Switch. So, I bought Cold Steel 3 on the Switch, and then borrowed Cold Steel 4 from the Trash Man himself. Then afterwards, I waited till Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure to release on the Switch, and then I played both of those games on the Switch as well. The last game I played on the Switch was Trails into Reverie, and playing about half of the series on the Switch, honestly speaking, I don't recommend playing them on the Switch. I still very much enjoyed playing all of the games on the Switch, despite the graphical differences with the Switch versions and the PlayStation versions. I think the game's still decently good. I think that Cold Steel 3 and 4 run pretty decently, and I think that the Switch does not do Reverie justice at all. And I honestly kind of regret buying it for the Switch. I literally bought it on Steam after I finished the game on the Switch. I don't even have Daybreak on the Switch because I do not trust my Switch to run that game at all. I've been playing Daybreak on my PS5, and honestly that game is absolutely gorgeous. Seeing Daybreak on the Switch would just make me sad. The only Trails games that I would actually recommend playing on the Switch would be Zero and Azure. In my opinion, I think Zero and Azure run beautifully on the Switch. I have heard that people saying that these two games don't run well on it at all, and honestly I think they were playing with their eyes closed. If you do want to get into Trails and you only have access to the Switch, then I would recommend getting Zero and Azure and then finding a different way to play the other games. In my honest opinion, I think one of the least favorite ports that I have played on the Switch, Crisis Core Final Fantasy Reunion, is probably one of the most meh ports I've ever seen. Don't get me wrong though. When I played the game at the end of 2023, I loved the game. The story, the gameplay is pretty good, and the mechanics of the game were great. But holy shit, this port is pretty fucking mid. Graphically, it somehow looks worse than the original game. And overall, I think this is a super poor port. By the way, this is a remaster of a PSP game that came out in 2007. That is just the surface of the problems of this game. I just personally think that giving Crisis Core a 1-to-1 remaster is possibly the worst thing that they could have done. There was so much that could have been done to improve the game in almost every area, and they decided to not do any of that. But that's not the issue at the moment. The main issue is just the Switch port in general. I think this game runs super poorly on the Switch, and I think that it's crazy how a remaster of a PSP game can run this badly. Personally, if you wanted to play this game, I've heard from some friends that the PS4 version and PS5 version of the games run so much better and look so much better than the Switch port. Let's end this video on a high note. Without a doubt, the best port of a video game to ever come out from another console to the Switch is by far one of the greatest video games to ever exist. The High Council agrees that this is the greatest port of all ports. One port to rule them all. The quintessential quintuplets memories of a quintessential summer and fuck, I can't.